Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Hoosier State, where Colts fans rise to their feet with the striking of the anvil as it is time for football here at Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indy. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and this one is underway here on EA Sports. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And trotting out there, no introduction needed for this guy around the league. Now in his 7th season as a QB.
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants, but his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football, doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
Now the NFL's leading rusher in 2021, Jonathan Taylor. And really a nice job there to make something out of that run, sidestepping defenders for a pickup of 4.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
That's to his tight end, Tyler Warren. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. The first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The toss here completed to Pittman. It'll be a gain of 5. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Now Jones. He'll try to pick it up, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. That time, Bradley Chubb shooting in there for the sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Throwing Jones. He'll try to do it himself, and Jones will hit the deck here, and he is able to pick up the 1st down. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Here Jones gets it out quickly, complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
What a drive this this has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Again, it's Taylor. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw. Jones. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Flying in to pick up that sack, Jordan Brooks. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Operating from the gun, Jones. And a quick throw there is incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
So on 4th down, Spencer Schrader on here for the Colts field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. Well, they moved the ball well there on the opening series. Running game was in sync. They were knocking on the doorstep, but ultimately, Charles, they'll have to settle for the field goal.
Well, they certainly were moving it well, and give this defense a ton of credit. Finally dug their heels in and forced the field goal. As wondered in his game partner, will this offense look back at this drive and think to themselves, if we'd gotten 6, we'd be in a better spot.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
This is what this man was born for, the big spotlight on the national stage like this. Really, his entire career, he's demonstrated incredible poise, no matter what type of situation his team was in. No situation is too big for him, and you can tell in the way that he takes the field. His self-belief is evident, and he gets the job done in his mind each and every time.
In motion, Hill. They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Achane gets it from the gun. And 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. Well, he's going to go for it all. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill, 54 yards. And the Dolphins are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot in the end zone and made it pay off.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. To the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he returns this to the 22. The second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback and then zip, one cut, and he's grasping at air. But this time, he locked in on him the whole way, took an excellent angle, and his grasp came up with the quarterback.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jones. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On 4th down, the Colts will call on Rigoberto Sanchez for the punt. Malik Washington deep for Miami. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Open man is Waddle complete. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with second and a couple.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
From the 34-yard line, here's second and a couple. Now Tua on the bootleg here. And they'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now Achane on 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Second and 6. Here's Tua. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. His first catch there. Good for 10 yards and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action. Now it's Tua. Rush coming in. He's taken down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. It looked like they were trying to get him outside there, but this defense had different plans.
Yeah, they really had an outside-in kind of a pass rush. It's almost like when you're covering a punt. You can't let him get to the outside and get to the sideline. You force him to stay in the middle of the field, and they did exactly that and made the play.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Going to the air. Tagovailoa. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. The Colts D sticking to their assignments, and that brings up 4th.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. Sanders' kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
looking to put a drive together. He'll start with a give to Taylor. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Off the play fake, Jones. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the Dolphins are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Now they'll send Waddle in motion left. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Now Tua. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. He hit his first, this one from 38. The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Looking to put a drive together. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Play action's supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit him quick. Little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the option left, it's Jones. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
I think what we just saw their partner was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 35. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
At the 35-yard line.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's going to be taken in by Downs. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 17 down to the 17, and it's a first down.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 5 at the 12-yard line.
They'll run the toss here with Taylor. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
No gain on that run. And while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Looking to throw. Jones. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get into the end zone and touchdown, Indianapolis. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts are back within a score. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. A 10-play drive that time. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Dolphins offense and Tyreek Hill set to take over once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
In motion right here, Washington. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm. But he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, Achane. And a good-looking run there as they take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
Tua sets up to pass it. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Mike McDaniel, he's going to ask him to take a closer look at this call. And out comes the challenge flag. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So good decision there by Mike McDaniel to throw that challenge flag. They rule in his favor. Sanders on for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Oh, what a move. And he brings sends us out past the 20 to the 24. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
He's got the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation, already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From the gun, it's Taylor. Gets past one man. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Back to Taylor on 1st down. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. Bradley Chubb came in and got him. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Back to throw. Jones. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Jordan Brooks. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. And it will be intercepted. Picked off by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Charles, one thing that he referenced reference to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
After the turnover, it's Tua. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so he'll just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He'll try to pick it up himself. And he will handle first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. Throw caught by Achane. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Achane on the counter. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. In motion comes the tight end left. Tua getting it quickly out to Waddle. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
In motion, Hill. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. That one complete to Hill. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that'll make it 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6. 36-yard.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Looked like an issue there on the snap, but everything has to be right from this distance. But that one, no good. Halftime coming up. Let's get you down to Orlando and our buddy Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brad. Brandon. Thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. And off to Achane to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A nice effort and an even nicer stop from Kwity Paye.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Tua going to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play there on the catch and run. 35 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him, and he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Now they'll send Waddle in motion left. Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane. And he's got room. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 79 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well, because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Sanders now to add the extra point. is a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it to 26. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Throwing Jones. The Dolphins get there this time and they bring him down. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks. Pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Jones. This one completes Alec Pierce. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Now again to Taylor. And some room to maneuver. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 90 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Operating from the gun, Jones. Connecting over the middle with Downs.
Jones pass. Complete to Josh Downs. A gain of 10 makes it 3rd and 9.
Here's 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Jones. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And he gets the first down yardage yards before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
10 at the 11-yard line.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Operating from the gun, Jones. Under pressure, they got him again. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Colts are able to cut into that deficit. So a very important first drive of the 3rd quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown catch from Alec Pierce.
The
Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So now here come the Dolphins. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. And they'll send the tight end in motion. The drive starts with a run from HN. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Right back to HN on 2nd down. And still about 3 yards shy of the first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football. Sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here's 3rd and 3. Here's Tua. Tua hit, and the ball is out. So that ball popped free. We can hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Fielded at the 33. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Here on 1st down. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. The toss here completed to Pittman. And Pittman going to have a Colts 1st down as he's inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Taylor out of the gun. And tough sledding. They'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
From the 36, Jones. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Jones. That complete to Downs. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Colts first down. First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's completion right there.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. 112 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 3 from the 9. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. Looking to throw. Jones. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Tyrell Dodson, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. Got a man. It's Pittman, and he hauls it in for the Colts touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Colts have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because giving up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead is down to a field goal now. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was capped off on the touchdown catch by Michael Pittman. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
You've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden you're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here. Otherwise, they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that one going to be slowed up before it can really get going. Good work defensively to read the trickery and make the stop.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 7. On play action, here's Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Tua to his Alabama teammate Waddle. 1st down, Miami. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now Tua on the bootleg here. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Second and 7. Off of play action. Tagovailoa. That's Waddle. He's got the catch on the out route. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 31-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Running right, here's Achane. A little juke. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our number 1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane, 26 yards. And the Dolphins are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. And that's certainly an important touchdown there and makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that can win the game for us.
Sanders on for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was Devon Achane who finished things off with a touchdown reception. To the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Colts offense and running back Jonathan Taylor heading back onto the field. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal, don't necessarily need a touchdown. second down and 3. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Jones keeping it on the sneak. And he is going to have a Colts first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead block.
And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at the 40. In motion right here, Washington. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
2nd down and 8. Now they'll send Waddle in motion left. They'll get that out wide to Waddle. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Dolphins, first down. A gain of
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down, they hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing: get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Looking to put a drive together. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. The kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. This game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now Jones throwing to start the drive. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. This deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th, but a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. We want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. They'll look to throw again. Now he's going to step up and run. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Mo Alley Cox, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. The 4th quarter touchdown there, back to a 2-score game, but time is not their ally.
No, it's not, partner. They still have a pulse, but it's probably a little weak right now. A lot of things have to go right in these final 2 minutes plus for them. I think they have to be thinking onside kick here, and we know how difficult those are to recover.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And they've got it. They recovered it. They hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
Always got a man wide open, complete. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
First and 10 at the 18-yard line.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. A run straight ahead with Achane. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Achane. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Dolphins on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Sanders on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Colts offense and Daniel Jones set to take over again. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. From the 36, Jones. And that throw behind his man. He missed him, incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. Taking it right down Broadway. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. This has just really been a solid second half from them, CD, as they add another touchdown to the lead and they start to pull away in what was once a close ball game.
Yeah, they actually put the Jets on in this one, didn't they? Put a little cherry on top with that touchdown. Now we just got to play out this final minute, and they'll get a chance to celebrate a very hard-earned victory.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Well, first down screen pass, good for 5.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time looked well for a solid gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Indy.